must be hot.
Much warmer. In fact, too warm. This is absolutely beautiful to be in this beautiful light and snow.
Is there snow in?
Yeah, in the
winter?
Drakensberg.
Really?
Up in the mountains we can, for sure, experience this. But it's not a regular occurrence.
Okay. But there's no skiing and something like that.
But there is places to ski. There's there's one place that I know of, I've never been there. But yeah, there are.
Okay.
There are places that you can ski, but obviously not as fanatical as people in Europe.
Why do people want to go in the passage? Because you're doing this now for many years.
Yeah, for sure. It's a deep longing or a deep desire within them. That people here, it's almost a calling. I believe that people here within them that says to them it's time to go within and find out exactly who they are and what's their purpose and what's their reason for being on this earth. And they often respond to that calling intuitively. It's not a rational decision that they make. It's a decision that comes out of their soul or their heart, and says to them it's time to question and ask why I'm here and what do I want to bring to this world and to this earth.
Yeah. I recognize when I went on the first time, I also had those inner calls, that inner feeling. Because all my mind says, don't go, it's too far away. And then suddenly my facilitator calls me and, are you coming? And my mind says no, but my mouth says yes.
Yeah.
I think listen to your inner voices. And then otherwise, the other years when people are coming with me, it's always the same. When I ask them, why do you want to go? There's some inner voice, I just want to go. I know it's time to go.
Yeah.
And why nature?
Well, you just see the magnificence today. And what does that reflect for me? What does that mirror for me? It's the magnificence of myself, of my soul, of my own being. We sometimes see the power of it, the lightning, the thunder, and we see our own power. Or sometimes we see how small we are.
Okay, yes.
When we look up at the stars and we think, gee, I'm this tiny thing, but I have this unique voice and this unique power. So there's a paradox as well. There's all these things in play that push us and move us through our journey.
The first time when I went into nature, when I went to South Africa, my question was reconnecting to nature and to myself. You told me, I've got goosebumps when you tell me. And it's a strange thing what happens, because the way you are welcome, the way nature welcomes you and being part of nature, it's also for me as like coming home. I've never been in South Africa, but when I come into nature, it's like I'm. It's coming home, and maybe coming home in myself. I don't know what happens, and I see it also with other people. They say they're coming home in themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a word I hear often is homecoming, or coming back home.
Yeah.
And therein lies the magnificence. And exactly like you say as well, that at times you can't find the words to describe this. And in fact,
exactly.
it sometimes feels that words detract from it and take something away from it. It's the silence.
And I recognize also always. I'm looking at the pictures we take of the people who are going beforehand, and they're smiling, and then afterwards, when they come back from nature, and you see something different happening. And you had some. It's about the dirt. Your story about.
Before we go in, there's the smell of shampoo and deodorant,
yeah.
and everyone's shiny and clean on the outside, but inside there's something that they want to clean up. And when we're coming out, you see there's Mother Earth all over you. There's the smell of smoke, of the tamboti smoke from the fire. There's a bit of blood from the thorns that have scratched you.
Yeah.
Coal and charcoal from the fire. So you're dirty on the outside, but inside there's this light.
Yeah.
Like today, this absolute purity glowing. And yeah, that's the turnaround. And the obviously, like we've discussed often, and which is your role maybe in this world, is to how do you bring people back into a place where after they've had this feeling, they found this enormous power, they found this sense of belonging, but how do you bring them back to a place where people don't understand where they've been and how they've experienced this journey and what experience they've been on? And that's the hardest part of this whole.
Yes, I know it by myself. I've got the first time I went here, I've got the same experience. The hard time to integrate what you found in yourself and connection, and how to translate it into this world. Yeah. It was when I was in Groningen on the market, great market, and I was listening. It was I was in wilderness again. All those people and all those smells, and I didn't know what to do. So for me, is the main what we now do then is also how to manifest.
Yeah.
And that's most important, to have a place to combine who you are in person and who your deepest soul are, how to combine it together and manifest who you. Is how I say it in Dutch, richting en invulling geven aan het leven.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping. I think. No, I don't know what I think. There's so much to say about it, about the councils, the effect of councils, and the special places. Some special places. We can go on about talking about it, but I love working with you.
And with you. And,
yes.
Yeah, and the people that.
That's the most important part.
That they are part of nature.
Yeah.
That they aren't disconnected. They're not above it. They're a part of it. And as we see that, as we walk through that place, we start to see that. Physically, we can see that. And then people move to another dimension or another level. Metaphysically, they start to see it.
Yeah.
And the synchronicity and the symbolism and the meaning can come to the most rational person. Yeah. And they suddenly see
that it's an inner shift which will never change. At least for the most of people who've been on my trails. They say it all.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Johan.
Let's have something to drink.
Warm chocolade.
Warme chocolade. En de braai.